What is going on, everybody? Today, we're going to be going over how you can use Revavroom in the Tera Raids. So let's get into it. So this is a very interesting Pokemon. He is a steel poison type. So honestly, keeping in mind, if you are going against fairy raids, then this will just wall everything out and be perfectly fine because you can damage amongst a lot of different ways. So held items I have ran is going to be Black Sludge, Life Orb, stuff along those lines. Black Sludge is very good with poison types because you don't have to use leftovers. And if you are setting up, you're going to go ahead and just get that health back because, well, you are a poison type. So for the Terra type, it doesn't really matter. You have poison and you have steel. Both of those, super effective. The only downside is you're not going to get an extra stab on the other one, but that's besides the point. Either one works perfectly fine. Mine happened to have poison, and it's just going to power up my poison type moves. So let's jump over to the moves and show you kind of what you would be working with, and so you can decide which Terra you would like to go with. So you are going to be running 2 attacking moves and 2 setup moves. The first move is going to be here is Spin Out. That is going to be your signature move, and what it is a base 100 physical attack move. It does have normal, a base number of 5. Go ahead and PP max that up along with Gunk Shot so you can have the most moves that you can possibly have. Now this does lower your speed stat harshly. So whenever it says harshly, that is going to be 2 stages. You're still a very fast Pokemon, but we can actually make up for that here in a minute. So now on our poison side, you're going to have Gunk Shot. That's a 120 base power move. And on the physical side, and it may also leave the target poison. You are a poison type. You are going to get a stab on this. This is a very high damaging move. The only drawback of it is that it is 80 base accuracy. So it does have a chance to miss, but when it hits, it does a lot of damage, especially if you're going against fairy types or anything that doesn't resist poison. So now for our little setup moves, we do have Screech. Since we are on the physical side of the attack and we're not using our special, you do need Screech. It does lower the defense stat by 1 stage. If you do want to pair this online with special attackers, he does get access to Acid Spray, but that doesn't benefit you. That benefits everybody else because it lowers its special defense stat by 2 stages and not 1. But Screech only lowers its defense stat on the physical side. Keep that in mind. So Shift Gear actually works with Spin Out very well. Spin Out lowers your speed stat by 2. Well, Shift Gear raises your attack stat by 1 and raises your speed stat by 2. So in one turn, you can go ahead, Shift Gear, be perfectly fine, get the attack boost, and then get the speed boost, which is by 2 stages. Spin Out, you still keep your attack buff, and you just lose your speed buff, which you can just Shift Gear again and get it back. So you're never actually really going below into the negatives for your speed stat. And he's already really fast. So those are going to be the moves you're kind of running. They work very well. So let's jump over to the spread to show you exactly how we got here and the type of ability we are running. So for our stats here, we're going to be running a 252 in HP. So max HP, kind of a standard here. A 108 physical attack, because we do use the physical attack stat on this Pokemon, not the special attack. Our defense, we're going to pump in 24. That'll give us a good boost to our physical defense stat. And then a 124, our special defense stat. Our defenses are not that great, and special defense is definitely the worst of the defense stats on this Pokemon. But then on top of all that, we're going to be running the Careful Mint, which will boost our special defense stat and lower our special attack stat because we are not using it, which is perfectly fine. Now for our ability here, Filter is going to be the hidden ability. So we either A, are going to have to go catch a bunch of these so you can just get that ability, or go ahead and ability patch that so you do get this ability. But just keep in mind, both abilities on this Pokemon are really good. First, the standard ability is going to be Overcoat. So you'll be immune to Sandstorm, Sleep Powder, anything that has an effect Spore or Powder moves. So an Amoonguss would have no effect on you if you are running Overcoat. It can't put you to sleep. And Sandstorm just won't do any chip damage to you, which is perfectly fine. Now, Filter is a very interesting ability. It is your hidden ability, and what it does is it receives 3/4 of the damage from super effective moves. So if you do get hit by a super effective move, say ground, you actually won't take full damage from it. You'll be taking 3/4 damage, so you actually take a little bit less. Now, I have found it to be very situational, but you can get like Magnet Rise on this Pokemon and just get above that. But besides that, the super effective hits, it just reduces the power for them, so you can actually have a chance of living, which if you are running Black Sludge, it is perfectly fine. So now looking at the standard stats for him, he is running a 364 HP, a very solid HP stat, especially being a steel type. Steel types having that high HP is very good. Attack is 301. We're not boosting that with a mint, so that is just bottle capped. Everything's bottle capped except special attack. Our defense is a 222. We had to bring that up, which is very good that we got it into the 200s. Very solid. Speed is a 216. You're very fast. Just keep in mind, if you do get a shift gear off, you are actually being a +2 in speed, so you just go even faster, so it doesn't even matter. Now your special defense is a 221, which is very good. We did use a mint to get there, but our special defense stat is actually a lot lower than our physical defense stat, so that's perfectly fine. Our special attack is a 126, which we're not using. It's not bottle capped, and our mint is actually hindering it, so overall perfectly fine. Now within this Tera Raid, you can see we are going in against a fairy. Keep in mind that the fairy typing is weak to poison and steel, so you are doing super effective damage to both. And if they are using a fairy type move on you, you pretty much aren't going to be taking no damage. In this build, I am using Black Sludge, and you can just see that I can shift gear. I get taunted, but I go ahead and just gunk shot. I mean, I already got the +1 for the attack. I can do spin out to just lower my defense stat, I can go ahead and spin out to lower my speed stat, but I keep that attack stat. And with the Black Sludge, I can just keep healing no matter what, because Black Sludge is a healing item for poison types, and it's a very good healing item for poison types, so you don't have to use leftovers or anything like that, because if they do somehow steal your item, or it will just poison them. They just get poisoned if you're not a poison type, so perfectly fine. So really good for poison types there. That's a definitely big win. Now we do not really have to Tera. We are able to just sit here, chip it down every time our taunt comes off, just shift gear and do more damage. Now this is my Revavroom Tera Raid build. He's a very interesting Pokemon, and I'm actually really liking him as a steel type. I have a little soft spot in my heart for poison types because they do seem a little overshadowed, but being a poison steel type is really good. And honestly, he's kind of like a motor, so he's a very interesting Pokemon overall. But if you did like this build, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe for more builds, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.